Security cameras. Okay. Are there any angles that aren't covered by the security cameras?
Perhaps, but it's not an angle that he's directly walking past. He's making a beeline for the parking garage exit. You don't know where he's planning on walking from there. But it's right next to the middleman.
Okay.
And it's worth reminding that, obfuscate doesn't hide you from security cameras, just whoever's
Exactly.
watching them at the time.
Right. Okay. How directly in a security camera's line am I at the moment?
Oh, you probably, you notice that they do a bit of rotation as well, so if you wanted to say try to attack him, you're always going to be covering at least one camera's peripheral vision. Again, you understand your own discipline powers. Nothing is going to be spotted immediately. There's going to be no cry of alarm from whoever's watching security, but it will be logged and saved later.
Yeah, and me without the gear that I need to make it worth my while. Okay. I'm going to wait for the camera, for there to not be a camera pointing at the van, and I'm going to go around checking to see if everything is locked and seeing if they have any spare keys inside of any of the wheel wells.
Okay. You wait and do as you're told. As it turns out, the guy goes ahead and exits the parking garage. You can see out in the distance he's heading for the middleman. The doors are locked, and as it turns out, I suppose he's security conscious enough. There are no keys waiting for you in the wheel wells. But it's
Yeah,
certainly
okay,
the van. License plate is the same one that Byron gave you.
that's pretty much what I heard. Um,
And you've confirmed that these guys are Fratelli enforcers.
right. Um, let's see. I, uh, I guess I can try and pick one of the locks.
Okay. What sort of tools are you carrying along with you to do that job?
Well, I think that it says I've got a set of actual lock picks on my carried gear.
It sure does. Lockpicks. All right. In that case, what is that? What is that? A dexterity plus security? I forgot the exact.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. This one is fairly uncomplicated. There's nothing special about its particular locks. We'll go ahead and say it's a difficulty of 6.
Okay, and I'm going to try and go into the van on a side that doesn't get as much camera coverage, if at all possible. Or if I'm
If
blocked.
you want to angle for that, then you should probably end up trying some of that sneaky action.
Okay, and that would be, what, perception plus stealth to find a good place?
We can go with that, sure, but security cameras are pretty thoroughly covering here.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I figured. I'm going for minimal, not
so you can
invisible.
always try to use willpower to gain an automatic success on it.
Nah, I don't care quite that much.
Alright, we're looking at a difficulty rating of, you're obfuscated, and you think that you might not be directly seen with a difficulty of 9. That's to avoid not just direct seeing, but even, like, peripheral things. Just like trying to
Right.
catch a few seconds. With,
Nope.
yeah. Well, you think you got an opportunity, and,
Well,
did
I mean,
you,
it's not a
yeah.
botch. It's just a failure.
I know, it's like you just, you think that, you know, it might be okay, but you're not sold on it.
Close enough. I'm going to try and pick one of the locks open. And
Okay,
does precise apply here?
sure.
Okay.
That is a success. You pop it open, and I suppose you immediately slide into it?
As quickly as possible.
Were you going for a front door, or like, since it's a van, one of the sliding doors?
Whichever was most accessible from the place that I thought I found.
Okay, in that case, sliding doors would create more noise, so you dive into the front passenger door. Marcus,
Okay.
you've arrived at the middleman. You're looking at about 2:45. Byron, nothing more has happened, although lots of the patrons have cleared out of the bar. You don't have a whole lot of friends left.
By the way, I have taken Evelyn's cell phone with me since she doesn't kind of need it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Byron would have said to say that, to take it rather, as well. I was thinking of that as well.
All right, there are people who have been streaming outside, Marcus, as you pull up at the taxi, and it's not too difficult to pay for it. You spot the situation as I've described before, with the two enforcers standing there. David is nowhere to be seen, and you're certain of that because you're pretty sure you could see him if you were using his ninja blood magic. And Byron is inside. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna call up Byron and say I'm outside.
Okay.
Byron will say, that's good. He said, if you want to try to get up here, feel free, but I don't think I can get you in. Everyone's leaving. It looked kind of weird.
Interesting. So I see the parking garage nearby, correct?
Yes, sir.
You know what? I'm actually not going to ask him. I'm just going to walk up to the guard, to one of the enforcers up there, and I'm just going to gossip with him. Ask him if he's seen any interesting people tonight.
Okay, you walk up, and he's about to prompt you for your name, but as you start going to a spiel, the scarred throat guy doesn't speak to you, but Blockhead is like, "Oh man, there has been so many interesting people, so many afflu wealthy people, and important ones, and Valentine the glorious and magnificent. He's here at this very establishment. Every time he visits, such great business. People just hope for the mere possibility of seeing him, and rubbing noses with him, whatever that means. For high society."
Does Valentine come here often?
Well, He looks at the scarred throat guy. "I think once a week, would you say?" Scarred throat guy gives a shrugging nod. "Something like that."
Must be a high-class establishment you have here if he's coming here once a week.
"Oh yes," he beams. "The middleman is the bestest, most glorious, finest establishment in the entire world." He is fully convinced of this.
I know you've won me over.
"Good." He looks, "If you were looking to get in though, I'm sorry. We're about 15 minutes from closing. Everything's been shut off. But if you deign to make a reservation and..." Oh, then he looks at you and says, "My, I'm sorry I didn't notice. Are you feeling well?"
Yes, I'm feeling well. This is just my paleness is mostly a persona I do for the stage. I'm a musician, you see. And my fans
Oh.
sort of expect me to be this pale.
"Oh." Blockhead looks down at the scarred throat guy. "When's our next costume night party? It'd fit right in." Scarred throat guy actually looks down seriously at the clipboard, flips some pages, and then Blockhead starts laughing. "You probably couldn't answer me anyway." A middle finger then rises from the scarred throat guy.
What's his deal? Why'd he talk?
Oh no, you didn't.
No offense. Just a little curious.
No offense, but I'm about to say something offensive.
Let's see, I want you to give me a Charisma plus Etiquette difficulty 9.
Well, with my luck, this is going to end up amazing. Well,
There is a baleful glower from the scarred throat guy, but Blockhead says, "Don't mind him. He's just frustrated. He made mistakes, and he earned what he got." There's now an accusatory glower from Blockhead towards the scarred throat guy, and there's just like a rail thin, like a wheeze of a sigh, as scarred throat guy looks back down to the clipboard.
I see. I'll probably make a reservation one of these days, but how about for tonight? You just, there's a guy I need to know, a friend of mine, Mr. Rand. He wanted me to meet him here for something. I don't know. The guy's crazy.
His eyes light up. "Oh, Mr. Rand, yes. Well, since it's gonna be closing anyway, why don't you come on right in?"
Oh, thank you. I catch your name.
Say, "My name?" There's almost sort of like a slightly scary laugh. And the world seems to get a bit shadowier. That's a word. He leans down next to you. "If you ever learn my name, it will be the last thing you hear."
Holy shit!
Spooky.
He leans back up. The scarred throat guy is standing in front of the door, swipes the card, punches in the code. "Please step in, mister. Enjoy your 15-minute stay at the Middleman, the finest establishment." The female hostess is busy puttering around. She's actually looking at codes right now. She isn't paying any attention to you. She assumes you're someone else leaving.
No.
Various patrons are getting up to leave as well, since it's very close to closing. They're not paying any attention to you either. The enforcers are looking around. They assume that if you actually got through, they just nod at you.
Okay, since I don't see him down here, I'm assuming he's upstairs.
Alright. You ascend the staircase without problem. And there's
Oh, there it
Byron.
is.
Alright, Aaron, your character is currently within the gray van. It's dark in here. Although thanks to the light outside, you've got a pretty good look at it. Immediately glancing though, I can tell you it doesn't seem to be like, there's like a gun laying around in the back of the van or anything. There's refuse, remnants of food that was eaten, some bags of Cheetos, some sandwich wrappers, stuff like that.
Okay. Should I roll perception plus investigation to poke around in here?
Sure, go ahead. Say difficulty of 6, but your trained observer will apply. Session MVP, Joseph. I mean, you guys could have passed another day for him to, be enabled. It's not my fault. I'm not accepting blame on this one. Let's see, that appears you got 1 success?
After the 2 ones, yeah.
So I guess your trained observer does apply, so I suppose you got 2 successes. There's a license and registration to Lorenzo Fratelli in the glove compartment. That might be the most condemning thing. But beyond that, you're not finding any guns, any sorts of like pictures or cameras. It's just that, once upon a time, there was one driver, 3 people in the back. They ate, they drove around the city doing whatever, but perhaps trailing Marcus. That's all.
Okay. Is there enough light in here that I would be able to take a picture of the license and registration without the flash?
If you wanted it to come out legibly, you'd have to use the flash. If you wanted to make sure you got all of the minutiae, because it's pretty small print. You know how the fucking department, the vehicle departments are.
Alright, then I'm going to try and do it as under my jacket as possible. If
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Alright. I don't think I'll make a roll for that. Okay. Being creative. Alright, anything else you would like to do now that you've snapped the picture of license registration information?
Put everything back the way it was, lock the door, close it behind me, and leave.
Go ahead and give me another wits plus stealth, or unless you don't care about being spotted by the camera.
Sure, I'll give you the roll.
We'll say difficulty, say 9 is what I made you do. To not even be spotted peripherally at all.
0
Alright.
successes.
You think you did a good job.
Let's just hope they don't have a reason to review the tapes later.
Yep. Alright, so going back in, and it's about 2:50 now. Tap has definitely been closed off, and Marcus, you've approached Byron.
Mr. Rand, I
Byron,
presume.
Say again?
Byron.
Yep. Hey, I'll just nod. And I'll glance at the door, make eye motions there. So.
Is there something behind the door?
I'm just gonna say, you tell me. I've seen 3 mooks go through there, and they might be the ones that followed you. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from David on that. But so there's at least 3 guys up there. Valentine and Lorenzo, I've heard, are behind that door as well.
So you're saying I should go through the door?
No. You can see, you can use Auspex. I don't know how he would put that. Feel free to, and now...
Auspex is not X-ray vision.
No, it isn't. He doesn't know that either. He knows nothing about it. He just knows that he used it, that Marcus used it the night previous.
Well, I guess I will, as unassumingly as possible, get close to the door and listen through it.
All right.
Byron's gonna nudge him a little bit and point him, since he's looking that direction anyway. I'm gonna assume he's seeing the 4 guards are coming up.
By all means, you're more than welcome to spot those. They're right there. They're not making any pains to hide.
Right. I'm gonna let Marcus know. Maybe he wants to rethink that strategy.
Instead, I'm going to turn to the bartender and be like, 1 drink on his tab.
Byron will shrug and nod. And
Tap's closed for the night.
Damn it.
The other patrons end up streaming out. Not streaming, but it's business closing time. And the Fratelli enforcers who've come up the staircase do politely step aside to allow the patrons to leave, and then resume their positions.
I think it might be time for us to leave.
Yeah, Byron is getting that feeling too. He also gets the feeling it might be too late. But you say, yeah, I think maybe we need to rethink this. I haven't seen anything coming out, so yeah.
David, as you return to your post, you've noticed the hostess actually ends up leaving for the night. And, oh my goodness, does she have a fucking sweet ride. 1998 jet black Lamborghini Diablo.
Damn.
It goes roaring off into the night. Beyond that, though, you haven't heard anything from the guys. Blockhead and Scarred Throat, I'll just call them that even though you don't know them as that, are still standing there, all nice and polite there by the door. But a lot of patrons have left. You don't know exactly how many this place fits, but there's been quite a lot that have left. And the parking garage, you can see from the distance, looks fairly empty now. By fairly, I mean very. Any response to that? Maybe Aaron stepped away and I didn't notice?
Sorry, I was not pressing my push-to-speak button.
That's going to be the theme of this session, isn't it?
Or did you have a
Clearly.
sweet reaction to the Lamborghini then?
No, I'm saying I'm just trying to get out of there now. The more eyes there are on me, the more chance there is for me to slip up and get noticed.
It's fine. In that case, I suppose you presume you're a position of lurking near the front, but not trying to get too close to it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Hostess is gone, beautiful one with the Lamborghini Diablo. Lots of other patrons have come out. No enforcer has come back outside, though, and Blockhead and Scarlet Throat are still standing there. What would you two like to do who are on the second floor?
Calmly ask the enforcers to please move so we can leave.
While you're doing that, Byron's going to try to call David and just let him know that we might be running into some trouble. He doesn't know, but he's getting uneasy about this. Since that one guy gave him that glare going in the door, he suspects maybe there might be trouble.
So, you politely ask, and one of the enforcers sorts of leers at you. Mr. Fratelli is interested in speaking with the both of you.
Mr. Fratelli, I was here for Mr. Rand. I don't know Mr. Fratelli.
Ha ha ha, no you didn't. I'm speaking that out of character.
He's gonna backhand the taste out of your mouth.
In that case, the knuckles crack. Perhaps I should teach you some respect, boy. And now it's time for initiative.
Oh,
I'd say that you'd have to drink food out of a straw for the next week, but that's kind of redundant.
Let's see, that's dexterity plus wits plus 1d10 plus celerity. I believe one of you can correct me on that if I'm mistaken.
And you want a higher initiative?
Yes.
I have an initiative of 10.
And you declare your actions from lowest to highest, and then actually do those actions from highest to lowest.
All
Right. Am I rolling as well?
Yeah, you two are rolling for initiative.
Did I get that phone call off to David or not? Or is that interrupted?
No, Marcus kind of stuck his foot in his mouth there.
Fantastic.
Dude, I'm subtly punk.
I was going to say, that's not something that gets to have a little die roll there. That was insulting Mr. Fratelli like that's a big deal.
So you said it's wits plus dexterity plus the roll?
Yeah.
I think that's hold on. Yeah,
Well, I have a
9.
10.
Like, offhand, Sean, I'm so sorry. Like, I really am.
Well, I was
It's
trying
fine.
to...
It's fine.
Like, I feel bad. Like, I know that, you know, it's a curse of the Malkavian how you end up being disabled for the entire night. I still feel bad.
It's okay. I plan on hopefully fixing that with my herd soon to get that in order.
Just think about
Okay.
it this way. Me and Byron might be getting the shit kicked out of us. and you're not.
Yeah, yes. All I'd do is I'd just be there and I'd disappear and I'd wander off and it would just cost me a little more blood. That'd be it. There'd be nothing to do with it.
It's too bad you don't have me in there with you guys, because this is going to be funny.
All right.
Yeah, I was just hoping maybe I got the number dialed off and you were able to pick up the phone and hear what's going on. Maybe.
And then Hulk on through the door.
Okay, so what is your initiative result then?
It's
Grip?
9, so I'll be taking a step back and putting both hands up, like don't want any trouble.
Right, I have, if you click on the window tab up there in the top, you can actually see that I've added initiative for you guys. Although it's not a big deal, you're certainly not going to know. Does the rule set require that I openly declare what the enforcers are going to be doing? Or is that discovered whenever, like, during the actual fighting?
Well, it's actions of all present characters that we can see are declared in reverse order of whoever got initiative. So normally, if we can see what they're doing, we if we have a lower initiative or a higher initiative, we get to see what they're doing beforehand, so we can tailor our actions to theirs.
Fantastic. I understand now.
So, like, if that guy was going to come and punch me in the face, I can see he's going to try to punch me in the face and instead punch me in the face.
They have all gotten lower than you. I'm doing that collectively. So
Yeah.
you two will definitely be able to respond and react to them.
That's why this initiative system is so cool.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be taking a step back, putting my hands, by my head, like, I don't want any trouble type stuff. So, but I of course act right after.
So what these guys do, they're planning on moving next to you. They're not pulling out any of their weapons. These guys that are up here at the top simply can't. They actually can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces reach. He can. He would end up moving there. He cannot. Well, he actually can too. They would all end up being walking next to Marcus, and they just plan on punching you. That's what they're going to be doing.
Well, luckily for me, I didn't bring any weapons with me, so this is going to remain a straight-up fist fight.
The bruisers, you two look frail and weak enough. They don't think they have to do a whole lot. All right. In that case, Byron, what do you said that you're just going to backpedal and not try to do any sort of combat at all?
Well, right now he's thinking, man, it's 2 on 4. Yeah, we're vampires, but he
They
really
definitely
doesn't
look
wanna-
menacing enough after what Marcus said. They are going to put you in your place. Probably not kill you. It kind of depends on what their boss orders them to do.
Right. Byron he wants to talk his way out of anything possible, and he's looking at this saying, dang, boy, you better make this right, because he doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't want to start a fight in a place where he doesn't know he doesn't know who's up on the 3rd floor. He knows 3 other people, and yeah, no. He's backing off.
Well, Marcus isn't. I think since he has they're all going to move next to Marcus and attempt
They're going to melee. If they can't reach, then they're just going to have to close in up on you.
What Marcus is instead going to do, well, since I'm pretty certain that this is going to end badly either way, I'm just going to inflict some damage.
Hey, remind me, the amount of, like, meters or squares someone can move or whatever, I think it was like 7 meters or what have you? I forgot the exact movement rate that's listed in Vampire, and of course, White Wolf doesn't give me a convenient way of finding out.
If jogging, a character moves at 12 plus dexterity yards/meters per turn. If all out running, a character moves 20 plus 3 times dexterity yards per meter turn per
So
turn.
is it just, if it's like walking, then just like dexterity plus 7?
If walking, a character moves 7 yards per turn.
Okay, 7 yards. We'll just go ahead and say like each square is 1 by 1. So normally walking, then you can move 7 squares.
So yeah, this is what Marcus is going to do. He's going to move down and engage in glorious fisticuffs with this guy.
All right. In that case, those are the actions. You get to go first. So proceed with your glorious fisticuffs engaging.
Glorious.
Glorious Fisticuffs is I'm assuming to hit, I have to roll dexterity plus melee, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to be spending a point of blood, so that means I get to do this action twice because of celerity.
All right. You just don't get the dice bonus that celerity applies, right?
Yes. I'm still only
Eh,
rolling 6 dice.
Right. And the second punch just takes place after everyone else makes their turns, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's the same way that extra initiative passes in Shadowrun work.
All right. In that case, a strike is dexterity plus brawl. Difficulty 6.
You barely
1.
hit him.
Okay, you have hit him, and now you roll damage, which is strength. So you get 3 dice, and I think if you get 6 or higher, you actually deal damage, potentially, depending on his soak. Is that right, Aaron?
What's his strength score normally?
Mine is at 2.
Okay, then yeah, that's 3 dice, and then he rolls his stamina.
Even with a
and,
minimal success, he still gets to add the 1, and I just wanted to make sure of that.
Right. And what successes that the guy gets on his stamina check cancel out the bashing damage you do.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
2.
2 successes. Let's see, I'll actually go ahead and make these rolls out in the open. Woohoo. No! He has soaked it all.
Shit.
He just nopes your entire punch.
That's pretty much it. You know, you're like, yeah, I got you. And it's the same guy who just said that he's going to teach you some respect. He starts laughing. And of course, you'll get your second attack after they get to go. Byron is backpedaling. You know, is just hoping that the situation can be resolved.
We want no trouble. We want no trouble.
And now the Fratellis move, the enforcers. The enforcer that you're by decides to engage you in some fisticuff action, possibly.
Glorious Fisticuffs.
He's going to do a normal strike at you.
Because you tell me these are ghouls, I'm going to be like, damn it.
He does succeed, and that is 1 success attached to that with his hit. He gets to roll...
I already have my, bet.
That is, he's got 3 potential damage on you.
I can only soak 2 if I get 2 successes. Nope, I take 3.
In that case, it's halved for you, rounded down, I think it is. Is that right, Aaron?
I think it's rounded down.
In that case, you've only actually taken 1 wound.
I'm bruised. Ow.
The second Fratellia enforcer over here goes ahead and tries to do the same. That is... That's,
I'm just going to fall over if you don't mind.
Just gonna let them kick the shit out of you?
That is going to be 1, scratches out, so 1, 2 connects, and you soak them both.
Yeah, well, He hit me. He hit me.
You're a fucking vampire, what do you expect?
See, this Fratelli does manage to reach you. And, he falls prone. Swing and a complete and total whiff.
Is this the
Now,
business
I'm just putting this out there, but are there any windows around for you to throw them out of?
There are certainly windows.
Interesting.
And, this guy manages to reach as well.
Hey, Byron.
That is going to be 3 successes attached onto his normal 3 damage dice.
Ouch.
This one's gonna hurt.
That is going to be subtract 1, so 3 successes.
Two
So
successes.
2 successes
More.
rounded down, so that's another point of damage for you. And now you get your second punch in, or whatever it is you wanted to do.
All right. Well, when is it my turn?
Well, you had your turn of backpedaling. That's what you declared your shit to
Oh, we're
be.
still on that. I was just
Yeah.
curious how much longer, because I know what I'll do next time.
Okay.
Should I take into account for the second attack that I'm hurt, so I have a -1?
Yes.
Well then.
Appears to be failure all around. So again, you punch the guy. If it's the same guy, he laughs at you.
I get like all the ones. God damn it.
Okay then. We are now on round 2. In that case, these guys, this normal Fratelli Enforcer here, he is actually going to have to spend his action to stand up outright. He's really embarrassed and humiliated about what just transpired. But the other 3 Enforcers are pretty content on just moving after you, Marcus.
All right.
But
Well,
what would you
what
like to
I was
do,
going to do-
Byron?
What I mean, don't I have to say what I'm doing first? 'Cause I have a lower
Yeah, what
initiative.
is your character going to do, now that you know what the
He wants
Enforcers
to-
are going to do?
Yeah, he wants to use presence and awe to try to. He's just going to say, "Look, you've made your point. It's fine. We'll go with you peacefully."
Now, how would that possibly work trying to awe people whenever their blood is flowing in a combat situation?
I'm not sure.
Maybe we make it a higher difficulty?
Yeah, it just says that it's not going to go against their self-preservation, but it will get them on your side if you make the right number of successes. Do note, I mean, in the book it says the baseline is a 7 difficulty, and it is charisma versus performance, I
Charisma plus
think.
performance.
Yeah, which is 1 and 3. So I'll get 4 rolls. It is using my voice, so I should get a 2 modifier for that. But it's going to be a tough roll because I have to get 3 to get all of them on my side.
See, I certainly think that given the combat situation, you're a powerful enough vampire. These guys are definitely not even ghouls. The difficulty will increase by 2. So since you have enchanting voice, it'll be put down back at 7. Is that what you still wish to try to do?
Yep. Shall I roll now?
No. Marcus, what is it that your character wishes to do?
Idea. I'm going to backpedal here to make it as difficult for them as possible to get as many people to attack me as. They still can surround me, but
See, it's certainly possible, like, difficulty is increasing for you considerably as more and more people are engaging you.
yeah. I'm trying to find a way if I could not straight up attack them, but if they do run towards me, hit them.
See,
Or
a character who battles multiple opponents in close combat suffers attack and defense difficulties. I'll start affecting that now. +1 cumulative.
Jesus.
Yep. So, you're going to move there and just, what, like, attack them if they get next to you, I guess? Or maybe, like, ready to have, like, a defensive action, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna try to dodge any attacks.
Okay. Alright, then, things play out then. You stand there. Byron, go ahead and attempt your thing.
Looks like I got half of them.
Looks like you got 2 successes, yes. And that affects 2 people. In that case, the guy who's prone, he stands up. He wasn't the one who was directly insulted. He just came across the room. And the other guy just stands back, and I suppose he's helping and pick up the guy who fell. These other two, though, they're not buying it. One walks up to, we'll say, here, and he's actually going to attempt to punch Byron.
Super.
Please don't tell me you have a glass jaw.
No.
Well,
He's dead.
it wasn't a botch, because he at least got one success. He definitely whiffed, though.
He got 2 ones, though.
I think the rules say as long as you get one success, you don't botch, no matter what.
Okay.
It's only if you roll ones and have no success at all.
If you have more botches than successes, I believe you still... You might be right, though, but it could go...
Yeah,
either way.
I think it's just that you don't botch so long as you got one success. We'll go with that for now. Sean, the master there, whose character is going insane, can correct me on that if need be. And this enforcer is going to walk up beside you, Marcus, and that is going to be 2 connects. Now, where does dodge come into this?
Is there even a dodge mechanic?
There sure
Yes,
is a
there is.
defense each defensive
There
maneuver,
is.
yeah.
You just have to actually actively do it.
And I suppose that you were preparing yourself to do that. You mean it's all your character wants to do to avoid attacks. That any time before your character's opponent makes an attack roll, so... And, I suppose I read that wrong. In that case, try to dodge. A dexterity plus athletics maneuver. So there we go. Difficulty 6. You successfully dodge his attempts to punch you. There is commotion coming from back here behind you guys.
Well, fuck.
And I suppose I'll say that the guy up north here, David, he is his phone is ringing and he's starting to reach it, to listen to it. All right, 3rd round. These guys are going to do more of the same. The Fratelli Enforcers. Now, what sort of situation is it where they feel, okay, we can talk this through, and then they're seeing their friends just run by and not talk it through? How does that work?
My impression is they might say something like, hey, lay off, we want to bring them to, this is what I would think, that they would try to convince the other guys just to take them up to see Fratelli. Since that was their original mission, maybe they'll try to reason. I don't know. They could also start attacking again. It all depends on how much they want to kick the snot out of people.
Sure, these 2 Fratelli Enforcers who are behind here will think about, trying to convince the others to lay off. Well, these other 2 are just going to lay into one on Byron and one on Marcus. Byron, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I was looking at Dominate, but it looks like both Mesmerize and, what was the other one? Command require us not to be distracted. So I guess I'll just try for the awe again. I don't...
Well, I think it's something you could actually do, command. You could just, just like if it's like a one-word command, you could use that in a combat situation. You can certainly establish eye contact. There's a guy who's looking at you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the one word. Anyone have a word that means step back or something
How
like
about
that?
just stop?
How's
You could just
retreat?
stop, surrender. You could just have them, agree.
Retreat.
Retreat, see, it says there it can't be something that could hurt them, and they might think a retreat is hurt. It depends on Grimith.
Well, no.
But
The hurt is mostly you can't order them to punch themselves.
It's physical
okay.
pain.
It's about ordering them to jump off of a building or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the same thing I did with Leslie, which is relax, or I could say retreat. I don't know. Which one do y'all think is better? I'll do whichever.
The strongest command is the best command. Anything that's ambiguous or open to interpretation may not be done at all.
Okay, well, I'll just say stop.
Okay, Marcus.
Well, since this guy over here doesn't want to stop engaging in glorious fisticuffs, I'm going to continue dodging.
Okay. All right, then your turn passes and you continue to dodge. Byron, it's up to you now to do that command. The player rolls manipulation plus intimidation difficulty equals the target's current willpower points, which is 4.
And I may or may not need the bonus for the, whatchamacallit,
The
for
enchanting
the
voice.
enchanting voice.
And you pass that. He does not punch you.
Fantastic. Byron's happy.
See, one of the enforcers moves back down here trying to tell this guy to cool off. You know, like, he can't hurt you, man. You saw how ineffective his punches were. Calm down, relax. Since this guy stopped, the Fratelli enforcer behind him can just lay a hand on as well. But this one guy, you know, who insulted, you know, Lorenzo Fratelli, he's still after it. Still after Marcus. So I suppose you can go ahead and make your dodge roll now.
Eh?
Looks to be the case. Unless I'm misunderstanding how dodge works.
I'm assuming it's a contested action whereby if the number of successes he rolls is higher than the number of successes I roll, he hits me.
The defensive action is a resisted roll against the opponent's attack roll unless the attacker gets more total successes he misses. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 success. Well, let's see what he rolls. No. You successfully dodge him. And that takes care of that round. At this point, the guy who you told to stop is looking very confused. He's not exactly going to go after you. And, but this one man down here he's still incensed at Marcus. He wants to keep punching. Byron, what would you like to do?
I'm not going to use a power this turn, or discipline, but I will just say I'll try to reason with the two that I convinced with awe. Just like, could you talk him down? You've made your point. We'll go peacefully at this point. Well, he's hoping Marcus will go peacefully.
The guy behind was one of the ones that you convinced with awe. He does have his hands on trying to calm him down. All right, that's certainly fine. Marcus, what would you like to do?
I'm going to keep dodging.
Okay. They take their turns. The guys who are trying to calm him down basically move next to the enforcer and just, like, you know, like whole sort of like appeasing to ego. Relax, Mr. Fratelli wanted to see him, you know, not see him dead. That actually does diffuse the situation, seeing as how he's outnumbered now. Without a sigh. Brushes off his suit. Punk bitch. And that ends combat.
Break his jaw.
Begin combat.
That's the same. That's what you want to do that. And, you know, but one of the ones who had been previously awed does look at Marcus and Byron and says, "How about not do that again?"
Like, no joke, I would love if you just decided to smack him in the face for calling you a punk bitch.
He did. He called you a punk bitch, but you are a subtle punk, so that works, right?
I mean, he's half right.
All I had to do was ask. All I had to do was ask nicely.
How do your two characters respond to the situation?
I just say no problem. That wasn't our intent. I apologize for any miscommunication, and Byron is just gonna do nothing threatening.
Guess we're gonna head off.
Yeah, you guys are being escorted. At this point, lights are beginning to dim considerably in the first and second floors. The music stops. It's past 3 a.m. David, still no Byron, still no Marcus. The Blockhead and Scarred Throat are resuming their positions. Blockhead did have a phone call. It's communicating a bit. He nods slowly. Looks over at Scarred Throat guy. You're too far away, though, since you've been trying to hide from the cameras to hear what they're saying. But they go back to resuming their guard positions. Is there anything your character would like to do? You're muted again if you're trying to... I didn't. Okay.
Nah, I think I'm gonna...
No phone
head
call to
back
Byron?
Astoria. Nah.
Oh, you're gonna head back to
Clearly-
Astoria?
Clearly, if something bad is happening, it's... No, I'm gonna keep in a good position to, I don't know, come in as the cavalry if I see something happening.
Yeah, I have a question here. Not to cut you off, but would it be possible for Byron to try and dial while the phone's in his pocket, and like turn the volume down, and this is a very complex thing, and dial up David, and maybe so he can overhear what's going on.
They're not directly putting their hands on you now, but you are obviously being corralled towards the southeastern door.
Wait, so you're asking whether or not it's a good idea to wear a wire when talking to mobsters?
Yes, exactly.
You can certainly attempt to do it. If you'd like to try to do it all sneaky-like, that's some sort of sleight-of-hand thing. That's like a dexterity plus stealth.
Yeah, not subterfuge. It's stealth, probably. You're right.
Yeah, subterfuge would be conversational lying. Stealth would be something your guy doesn't have, so you have a die of 1. We'll say a difficulty of 8 attached. You can spend a willpower point, though.
I'm going to attempt to do it as well.
Yeah, I'll spend a willpower point because this is somewhere he wants people to know what's going on.
Would you like to spend a willpower point too, Marcus?
No, I actually have stealth.
Okay,
I'm rolling
difficulty 8, dexterity plus stealth.
Why is Marcus rolling? Does he have a cell phone?
He took Evelyn's cell phone.
Oh, I see.
Part of me wants to fail this.
Fight back on.
Nope.
Okay, your willpower, of course, is temporarily reduced by 1 now. Byron. Aaron, curious note, you got 2 calls almost simultaneously. One from Evelyn O'Malley, one from Byron Rand.
Well, Byron's is probably more pressing, so I'll answer that one. Actually, no. These are old school phones. I don't get a choice. I ask whichever one called first.
We'll say that since the Marcus had a higher amount of successes, it's Evelyn's phone that picks up.
Alright.
Alright, so you have that, and what you hear are just basically noises, random sorts of things, unless Marcus would actually like to try to talk to you.
I'm not going to try to talk. I'm just going to talk to the guys like, listen, I'm sorry about what I did back there. My blood gets a little hot sometimes.
Yeah, and Byron's going to say, any idea what Mr. Fratelli wants to see us about?
You guys, the door opens. You don't get much in the way of answers. You just go through. At the same time, people are storming around the corner. They have pistols drawn, silencers equipped. Obviously, they'd heard the noises, and they were rushing forward to see things deal with it. But the situation appears to be handled. Okay, so the enforcer who Marcus attempted to punch and failed to do so says, "Go through now. I don't want to see your punk bitch face again."
Good, I don't want to see your face either. Well, that's out of character.
Would you like to
Yeah,
say that out loud?
Byron
it.
will shoot you if you do something like that.
Just do it anyway. Do it.
You have a gun?
Yeah, actually, I have a 9mm on me and a knife, but
You came
Okay.
armed?
So, I
Yeah.
suppose if David's character is hearing some sort of slightly staticky, perhaps garbled version of this. And,
Right.
all right, the door closes behind you. The two guys have their pistols drawn. They both look at you, both glowering, and say, "This way." They lead you around the corner. It's worth noting, it's clear to see that this is some sort of like kill zone area. Along this wall here, at the end of around the corner basically, as you're looking towards your right there where I'm pointing the arrow, there are clear signs of bullets having impacted this. It's significant damage to the wall. Of people apparently taking the unlocked door as a great sign that they could go right through, and things not working out that well. There's other noises. Apparently there was 3 other guards, enforcers approaching. Byron, you recognize these as the 3 guys, one of whom gave a glower at you before they entered through the door. And they all look at Marcus with some sort of sense of recognition, and your Auspex is giving you a feeling that you may have encountered these guys before this evening.
Do I know you, gentlemen?
They grunt. They all had their pistols armed too. And you guys are escorted, unless you would like to resist, down the hallway towards the staircase. The enforcers actually leave. And David, this is an interesting sight for you. A total of 5 enforcers are eventually seen leaving the middleman.
Leaving, huh?
Yeah, they're leaving. One of them, I mean, they look like they have their suits rustled up a little bit. One of them looks like he has blood on his knuckles. And apparently he's also the angriest one. The others are trying to joke with him, trying to calm him down. And you hear a stupid punk-ass bitch thought he could insult the Fratellis like that. I swear.
The angriest little mobster. That should be a children's book.
Yes, a great children's story to share with everyone, I'm sure.
Hey, at least I didn't break a bottle and stab someone with it.
Is there anything your character would like to do in response to this? They're all streaming out. They're heading for the parking garage. They're gonna leave.
Nah. I don't see this as being so much an opportunity as a risk.
Well, fuck
Okay.
you too, Aaron.
The 3 of you are taken to the 3rd floor.
3 of us.
Good joke, I know, right? Somehow the obfuscate guy got in with you after all. The 2 guys with their pistols drawn, who apparently are guards of this little corridor, actually do follow you up the staircase. It's worth noting the building is actually smaller and narrow here on the top, not as wide as the middleman normally is. Here's another kill zone type area. This one looks like it's decorated by shotgun blasts instead of pistol. Now that you come up here, the 2 guys are behind you say, "Go on. He's expecting you."
Alright, thanks, see ya.
Down the corridor, you see part of what might be causing the kill zone. A very, very, very meaty man with all the security camera footage around him. He is a badass. Not exactly a badass quite like Theo Bell, but a mortal badass. That shotgun is laying right there on his desk next to his propped up legs. He looks up at the two of you. He tuts and shakes his head. Can't believe you two. He snorts.
Hey, I'll be back soon, 15 minutes at most.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm going to need a quick AFK here too. Just
that's fine. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. I know that we haven't had one of those yet. I need to close the blinds in my house anyway.
Cliffhanger right